Hello, hello, welcome in, Ray. Good to see you, my love. I'm happy to hear that. Good. We've got some Spotify going today. And this one is actually a streaming playlist by Laser Dice called Lo-Fi and Lounge. It's pretty good. I like it so far. My head's hidden. All right. Welcome in, everybody. It's so good to see you. All right, we're here for our very first crafternoon, our first journaling or crafting stream. So I'm super excited, a little bit nervous because I have no idea what I'm doing, but I think overall, feeling more excited than nervous. So I've got some information up on the screen if anyone's interested in learning a little bit more about glimmers. There's also a a chat command. So if you want to try !Glimmer Garden in the chat, you can get a little bit more information about glimmers and why they're so important, and also a few examples. So yeah, since I'm streaming on my laptop, it doesn't seem like the music is, I'm not sure if you're hearing it, but it breaks up a little bit every now and again when I type or when I do something. So I'm not sure if my laptop can handle this very well. So we'll do our best today, but I will be setting up my PC like this week, so it'll improve our setup here quite a bit. Okay, so today we'll be focusing on glimmers. I'm gonna be making like a junk journal style sort of project to kind of document and really give some space for my glimmers. I have no idea what that's gonna look like just yet, except I did pick out a journal and like some basic supplies, and I'm probably gonna make a lot of flowers because my idea was to kind of like grow a glimmer garden. So I figured I could sort of decorate different glimmers with flowers and things like that and sort of focus on, you know, growing more glimmer in my life, bringing more glimmer in. So it's in a way maybe a manifestation journal as well. But mostly just kind of like, I'm gonna just do whatever I feel I want to do with it. I'm not gonna follow any rules specifically, but that's sort of my basic idea at the moment. So if you're new to journaling, if you're new to crafting, okay, you haven't really noticed it much, the music, okay, good. I'm hoping it's pretty decent quality. So yeah, if you're new to journaling or new to crafting, and you're just kind of here to do some reflection, it's absolutely fine to just like write yourself a list. You can doodle. You don't have to make it fancy, right? The main purpose of this is to just reflect on like what makes you feel more like yourself, what makes you feel more connected to yourself. And really making space and time to reflect on those things that you want to bring more of. Bring more of those things into your life. And that's the main thing. So there really aren't any rules on like how to express that. So definitely like feel free to do your own thing. Don't copy what I'm doing if it doesn't feel right to you. Although I do welcome you to like make your own glimmer garden if that feels something, if it feels like something you're called to do. Absolutely, 100%. Just go ahead and make those flowers. All right, let's switch our view here. I do have some food with me, and I'm still getting settled today, making some tea and whatnot. So my desk is a bit messy at the moment. I'm sure it'll get messier as our stream goes along. But yeah, for now, I do have some food here, so just bear with me on that one. All right. So yeah, I just kind of want to give everyone some time to get settled in here. And if you'd like to read those Glimmer articles, please do. I'm also here to answer any questions. I'll do my best. And if you feel compelled to like share some of your glimmers in the chat, I would love to hear about them. No pressure either way. Okay, I'm gonna set this tea over here to steep for a few minutes. This one's really good. It's from Witchwood Tea House on Etsy. If anyone's interested, you can check out this shop on Etsy. It's so good. I like to do just some little special things when the seasons change and whatnot. I really like to do some time for reflection. We might do some oracle or tarot pulls today, depending, maybe both. You know, I like to have my nice tea and just spend some time in my journal. I usually do some sort of journaling activity or some sort of crafting activity. Sometimes I combine them and do both. Like today we'll probably be doing a bit of both. I want to make some paper flowers to put in my journal. And I actually have these, like, I don't know if we'll get to them, but I have some little diamond painting sticker things. And these are like little woodland animals and stuff. So I have this kit that I got. And I might do some of these to put in my journal as well. Those are fun. So yeah, some crafting there. We'll see though. We'll see what we feel like doing. Ray says, my main glimmers come from either when I first get to a board game night or when I see a new shop that I like. Ooh, those are great glimmers. I love that. Another thing about glimmers too, something that can be really helpful, is to think about, like, how do you know you like them, right? Like, I feel like we often, you know, say things like, oh yeah, like a cup of tea makes me happy, or like seeing this person makes me feel happy. But one thing I want to encourage you to do is to get curious about how you know that, right? Like specifically, what messages do you get from your body or your nervous system to let you know that, hey, this is pleasant, I like this, right? You know, how do you know? How do you know something feels good to you? And that is like a whole skill. So if anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. Let me know if that makes sense or not. But the best example I can give, just like off the top of my head right now, is right now my body is telling me that I'm hungry, and I know that because I have some hunger pains, and I have some like salivation going on, right? And so I'm really looking forward to eating my oatmeal here. And I feel like when you sort of slow down and like notice what your body is saying, your body actually knows if it likes something or if it doesn't like something, or if something feels pleasant or unpleasant or neutral, right? I think it's really important to kind of start experimenting with how your emotions feel, right? Like, what's your felt sense of that emotion? I think it's really really useful and beneficial to say like, oh, I feel happy, I feel joyful, I feel grateful, I feel sad, right? I'm grieving. I think it's really important to kind of know the cognitive meaning and to be able to express with words how you feel. But one thing that makes glimmers even more powerful is also knowing that felt sense. Not just explaining with words, like, oh, I feel happy, right? But really knowing what that feels like to you. And I think that's what makes glimmers so powerful. And the main reason for that is because our nervous systems really communicate a lot through sensation. Our nervous system may or may not have words to express how we're feeling or what our experience is like. So being able to touch into your sensation is just a whole nother language that you can use to express yourself. And that's what glimmers do, right? It kind of helps us start to access that a little bit more, kind of slow down and notice that a little bit more. Yeah, so Ray says he feels excitement and also more relaxed. That's great, that's great. Okay, what does excitement or relaxed feel like for you? Like, how do you know? Is there like an absence of tension that you normally feel? Are there butterflies somewhere? Sparkles in your chest, right? There's no right or wrong way, and you don't have to share in the chat, but just something to think on. What does excitement feel like? How does your body experience excitement? Journal's beautiful. I chose this one because it's got like flowers and this beautiful butterfly. I'm just really excited to use it. I love this paper. excitement feels a bit like fluttering, and the relaxation is definitely me noticing I'm less tense. I'm a naturally anxious person. It's so good to notice though, right? Like if you notice those moments, even like just a few seconds of less tension, or like the fluttering, if it feels pleasant, right? Lean into that. Your nervous system likes that, right? Probably. That's what I'm assuming. If it feels pleasant to you, if it feels supportive, if it makes you feel more connected to like the here and now, lean into that. That's so beautiful. And you know, glimmers, in my opinion, like I don't feel like they're just for people that are healing from trauma. Obviously, that's what it's designed for. But like we all benefit from glimmers. We all do. We all have a nervous system. We all need glimmers in our lives. So these are just a whole bunch of little like bits and scraps that I have from projects that I've worked on, and I'm just kind of looking through to see if there's anything that I want to use on my first Glimmer journal entry. And I really like these. A lot of them are coffee dyed, but some of them might be tea dyed as well. But I dyed a whole bunch of these papers too and kept some of the scraps. And so I really love these because they're all different. They're all different shades, but they're also like there's different patterns and stuff that can sometimes emerge. These unexpected patterns. It's almost like watercoloring, honestly. This one's a little bit of a thicker paper. Not sure what kind that's from. And these are coffee dyed from, I used to use this planner. Thank you for the applause, Ray. Yeah. I'm glad those are working. I wasn't sure they're new. I just put them in. Yeah, so these are bits and scraps from this planner that I used to use by Amy Chesery. What was it called? It's the Coloring Book of Shadows. And there's a planner version, and it's really fun. I love that planner so much. But I kept some of my old bits from that, and I like to reuse those in my projects now too. Also, tissue papers are really nice. Ooh, I love this. This is pretty. You're excited? I'm glad. Yeah, me too. I always feel like quite excited because like when I do my junk journaling, because I never really quite know what it's going to turn out like, so it's always a bit of a surprise. Oh, I found this butterfly. This is cute. This could be a really good little embellishment for this journal. See what else is in here. This is gorgeous. This is actually an old wallpaper sample. Oh, I like this too. These are from a wallpaper sample as well. I think I have another little bit over here. Here it is. Yeah. This is probably a little scrap from a magazine. Probably cut that out, like fussy cut that, and then use it as a little sticker. Ooh, this is from an advertisement, like for vegetables and fruits and stuff. All these little bits. And I like the edging. I think that's a really nice little crisp decoration there. Ooh, and we've got lace scraps. I forgot. I've got a lot of lace I could use too in my other bin. Okay. Oh, I also made these. These are fun. I'm probably not going to use... Oh, I might use this one. This is a nice one. These were made with watercolor paper. And what I did is I took like colored tissue paper and put it on the watercolor paper. And then I spritzed it with like a spray can of water. And let it sit for a while, then you take them off. You know, take off the tissue paper, and it makes these really pretty, like almost watercolor designs. And then I just kind of hole punched some circles out of that. I think some of them turned out so nice. I did all different colors too. This one it looks like was like orange and brown, but I did pretty much every color in the rainbow. Yeah, we might use some of these. And this is an old journal that I used to have. I think I still have it, but I didn't keep all the pages. So some of the older ones I recycled and used some of the bits in here. But this is just like distress ink stamps. And I kind of sponged them over the stencil and made these like stamps on here. That was really pretty. I made quite a few backgrounds that way for that journal. Okay. So we've got some stuff to start with, and I think I want to find maybe a few larger pieces, like one or two larger pieces to start a background. I also have all these vellum papers, which I think are really fun for adding like extra layers on the top. What's in here? So these are like medium scraps. Here's my larger ones. I think we'll go with large for now. The Glimmer Gardens is a covering... Your Glimmer Gardens are covering the scraps box a little bit. Okay. We can move it. This is gonna look a little weird for a second, y'all, but just bear with me. Maybe I'll just put it down here. Or even here. Since that's, we don't really need that. Let me know if this is a bit better. Oops. Sorry. All right, I think that should be good. Let me know what you think of that. All right, hopefully that's better. Okay. These are paint samples from Magnolia Home Collection. I thought these were gorgeous. So I'm trying to see, I think I want to use Garden Party and Watering Can because we're growing our Glimmer gardens. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them on the same page, but I definitely want to use them somewhere in the journal. This is actually the color that I chose for my art room. So the wall over there. This is the color Quaint Cottage. Oh, I forgot I have these little envelopes too. These could be really fun to put little letters, like love letters in. Oh wow, this one's interesting. Looks like it got almost water stained. I might use that. It's kind of neat. Oh, this is from an old calendar that we used. No idea what year. But that's a good way to recycle wall calendars too. I don't know if people really use many wall calendars anymore. I know a lot of people use digital. But yeah, this is a good way if you see like maybe at your office or something. Might be able to recycle those. These are some business cards from some artists that I liked at a recent craft fair we went to last summer. Oh, this is some mermaid stuff that I was looking at. I love this wallpaper. This is pretty. I have a lot of these little bits and scraps in my other fall self-care journal. Oh, this is pretty too. Maybe we can use this one. This is embossed. gonna save that one for my mermaid journal. Oh look, here's some more paint samples. This is the white that we use. This is in our living room, this green. And then this is our bedroom color, our kitchen. Oh, I love this. I might actually put this in my Glimmer journal. So this is another, this is an example of the Amy Chesery Coloring Book of Shadows. Like this is something I cut out of there, out of my planner that I had. Moss agate is one of my favorite stones, and I really like the prompt on here. It says, how can I enjoy and feel gratitude for what I already have? That is perfect. For the Glimmer journal. And also, fun fact, my wedding ring is a moss agate. I love it so much. So yeah, I'm definitely going to use this. I might actually put this on my title page. That's pretty, and we can color it. That'd be fun. Oh, that's another thing that you can do if you don't want to draw or anything. You can cut out little coloring book things and just sort of use these. You can fussy cut them maybe and use these to illustrate your glimmers. Oh, these are stickers that I love so much. These are from Macy's Ghost on Instagram. The way you speak to yourself matters. Let that sink in. The way you speak to yourself matters. That's a glimmer for me. Whatever you feel is okay. Another glimmer. This one, I like to use this one in my fall journal. I just haven't stuck it in yet. But this is Every Season Has Purpose. And this has special meaning to me because for a long time, and I still struggle with it quite a bit. You know, I'm kind of a workaholic, unfortunately. And so this sort of thing has really helped me find purpose and meaning and value in rest and retreat, which is, you know, something for for a very long time. It wasn't really something that I'm not going to say I didn't know it was valuable, but I definitely lost touch with it. And so yeah, this is special. Swiss coffee. This is the other color that we have, the other white that we use in our house. We have Swiss coffee and then we have marshmallow. I mean, okay, full disclosure. Sometimes I will choose a paint color based on the name, and then if it's not a good color, I'll find like another color that's similar that has a better name. It's probably not the best way to go about it, but hey, it's a glimmer. Like, who doesn't love the name Swiss coffee and marshmallow? Like, awesome. I want to be surrounded by Swiss coffee and marshmallow. Put that on my wall every day, all day. I'm here for it. Okay. So we've got some options here. I think I'm going to start with making a title page. And then I'm going to make some more little flowers. Did I make any yet? I might have made one, and I'm not sure where I put it, so hold on. Let me think for a second. Oh, I think I know where I put it. Just so I can show you an example, but I'm gonna make some more on stream as well. I think they're in here. It's been a long time since I've made a paper flowers, so I might not be able to find them. No, it looks like these are mostly stickers. I'll have to take a look at my other bits and scraps and see. I might have a few different paper flowers that I'm going to want to add to my journal that I've already made, so I'll have to find those and add them in. But for now, we'll just make a couple new ones. We'll go from there. Oh my goodness, am I dropping paper all over the floor? Aw, that's so sweet. Yeah, I do want to continue doing these. I think they're really chill. I'm thinking about maybe doing like some craft with me or journal with me streams on like Mondays. And then also like holidays and stuff, just because it's something I like to do. It's like a celebration for me, a little moment, celebrate things in life. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Oh, that tea is so good. Okay, so I think I'm gonna start with a title page just to kind of break my journal in. Actually, trying to decide if I want to do some incense. I don't think so. I think the tea is plenty. This is a glimmer for me, this tea. Did you just boop me? That's funny. All right, so let's get something on here to weigh this down. Maybe just a pair of scissors would work. Just want to keep it open. Okay. Good morning, Stephanie. Well, good afternoon. How are you? Welcome in. Is that why you booped me? Let me scroll up on chat. I cannot wait to get my monitor set up so that I can have like a larger chat box. Oh, yep. Okay. Stephanie says, hello, Amber and friends. Hello. I'm so sorry. I'm checking in with you late. I'm so glad you're here though. Ooh, what are you having for lunch? I hope it's something good. I'm doing pretty well today. I'm had a pretty slow morning, which was lovely, and now we're doing some Glimmer garden journaling, and then I have work this evening, just for a few hours. Ooh, pizza rolls. That sounds good. Yeah, I'm happy you're here. So, I'm gonna send these links to you. So Glimmer Gardens, chat command. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about what a glimmer is, if you don't know. Was it Glimmer Garden or Glimmer Gardens? Hold on, I might have done that wrong. There we go, Glimmer Garden. Okay. So those are just a couple articles that are helpful, and they're pretty quick reads. But I'm also more than happy to answer any questions. Essentially, a glimmer is the opposite of a trigger. And so we're looking at things that make you feel present and connected and curious and more like yourself, right? So kind of reflecting on like, when was the last time you felt most like yourself, and getting into kind of getting in tune with what it feels like, the felt sense of that. What does your body experience? How do you know that this thing is good for you, or that it feels pleasant, right? And we're really not to be toxically positive, right? The point of glimmer gardening is not to avoid or dismiss struggle or pain. The purpose of glimmer gardening is to grow more of the things that are supportive, so that when it is time to face hardship, we are more resilient, right? So glimmers do, focus on positive things that feel pleasant, things that feel supportive. And that's kind of where we want to focus and bring our attention to when we're trying to reflect on our glimmers, right? Things that are lovely. So that's what we're doing. I'm just kind of crafting a little bit of junk journal stuff to, my plan here is to make this journal into a whole celebration of glimmers in my life. So I don't know, you could call it a glimmer garden journal, a gratitude journal, whatever, but I liked the idea of like growing a glimmer garden, and then celebrating it in a little like pretty notebook. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know, I just kind of decided that's what I felt like doing this spring. So this is what we're doing this year. Oh, I think this would look really pretty with my moss agate picture. I'm gonna cut this out. Oh, we're doing that. That's happening. Yeah, I think I'm going to do something like this, and then I'm going to fussy cut this out. And maybe this too. Are they too similar? I love that, Stephanie. Yeah, as a lifelong pessimist, this is a good idea for me, I think, to have positive things to turn to when I need them. 100%, that's the goal of this. Um, and one thing to keep in mind, and like I don't want to say anything like specifically to you, like this is just a general comment. But you know, if people have developed post-traumatic stress disorder, right? Oftentimes they struggle with that sort of pessimism. And it's not a choice or a personal failure if that happens. And it can happen for lots of different reasons. But trauma is just one of them. One of the many reasons that this can sort of happen for people, where they just kind of their mind sort of turns to anxiety or sadness or worry, right? Like their mind kind of turns towards that more often than maybe something that feels better. And it can feel very frustrating. But one thing to keep in mind is, like with trauma specifically, there's also a nervous system component to that, right? Like your nervous system will sort of develop these patterns of managing itself within that environment that felt really stressful. So one of the ways that can manifest for people is like a freeze response. It kind of looks like depression sometimes, things like that. Or maybe a fight response where they're very irritable. For me personally, I've had a lot of mixed sort of nervous system patterns where I would feel almost like I have all this freeze energy and fight energy at the same time, and that can be very confusing. And so I think the best thing that, like, this helps me so much because it reminds me that, you know, even though my nervous system is sort of used to doing things a certain way and it's sort of familiar with responding to my environment in a certain way, being able to turn towards something like junk journaling or my Glimmer journal here, my hope is that this will be another resource for me, because what I found is that when I turn towards my glimmers, when I turn towards things that feel safe, that feel cozy, right, that feel comforting, that feel like myself, like I can be myself, that's healing, and it helps my nervous system sort of adjust. Because, you know, the reality is, like, there are spaces in my life now, there are people in my life, there are activities in my life that are very safe. And I think that when we have sort of this trauma physiology, we have to keep in mind, like, trauma physiology is not bonding physiology, right? If we're in trauma physiology, if our nervous system feels threatened more than it's able to manage, we'll say, because it's not a bad thing for our nervous system to feel threatened. It's made to help us. It's made to protect us, right? Our nervous system is meant to detect threat and help us survive that, right? It's not a bad thing. But when it occurs more frequently than it's able to sort of manage and process, we have a problem, right? So, like, every time we kind of refocus on glimmers and actually find spaces that are safe, and then give our nervous system time to, like, integrate that and feel that and be present with that, it's healing, right? It's healing. So one of the benefits is, you know, more positive experiences, more positive emotions, right? Letting yourself experience those. I think it's a whole new level of healing And it's necessary. You know, I think one thing that we know now with all the trauma research is like, without these nervous system experiences, people with trauma don't heal, right? It's not just like think your way out of it. Your felt sense needs to understand that you're safe again, and glimmers are one way to do that. Yeah, so I'm going to get off my soapbox, but yeah, I'm just really passionate about this, and I want to share it with anyone who might be interested in trying it, trauma or not. You know, this can benefit lots of different people. You know, it's not just for trauma survivors. It's created for trauma resilience, you know, building that sort of trauma recovery. But it's definitely not exclusive to people, you know, healing from trauma. I think this can be a really good way to just improve your mental health regardless of what you're going through. And you can tweak it however you need to, you know, whatever supports you. Okay. I'm gonna fussy cut this thing out. I might regret it, but I'm gonna at least try. These flowers look pretty fiddly though. Thanks for the hydrate, Ray. No pressure either way, but if anyone wants to share any glimmers in the chat at any point during stream, please do. I would love to hear your glimmers. But only if it's supportive in your journey. Your journey is more important here than interacting with the stream, or, put yourself first. Absolutely. But if you do feel that impulse and you'd like to share, feel free. Spending time with my niece and nephews. Oh, I love that. Seeing how excited Kimber gets when I get home from work. Oh, that's so good. I love that. I love how, like, both of those examples are really good moments of connection, right? Not just with yourself, but with people and animals that you care about. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, both of you, Ray and Stephanie. I appreciate it. And I hope that it helped you. I hope it feels good to share that joy. I feel like a glimmer that I'm experiencing right now is just being here together and listening to this music. And I know fussy cutting is a bit of a time-consuming activity, but I feel like it's a glimmer for me because I really enjoy the process of it. I like the feeling that my hands experience, like doing this, and then I also like the sound of the cutting on the paper. And of course the satisfaction of like a beautiful piece that I can stick in my journal when I'm done. Can't forget about that. It's looking good so far. I'm still gonna fussy cut around the flowers a bit more, but I really am happy with how it's turning out. Cute. Thank you, Ray. I do really like this playlist. I was listening to a really nice like forest, like enchanted forest playlist earlier, and it has like birds, and it has different like nature sounds, like like a brook running and like wind and stuff, and that was really lovely, but it's not stream safe, so I couldn't use it. Hi, honey, how are you? It's so good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I decided to do like a cozy crafter noon stream instead of like a gaming stream. So we're working on something called a Glimmer journal. Oh, I'm so excited. You're good. You definitely wanted to come to the stream. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you're here. I'm just gonna, there is like a little bit of information. You might have already seen this, but let me just type in Glimmer Garden. And there's a couple links here. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about glimmers and maybe some examples of glimmers, but I'm also here to answer any questions that you may have. And, you know, the purpose of today's stream, at least in my opinion, is to just kind of get to know your glimmers, reflect on those, and just hang out. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I had a really slow morning today, which was lovely. And then, you know, I'm just going to be doing this for a few more hours, and I have, you know, I have some work to do tonight, but overall, really good day. I'm really happy to be here. Okay, also, when you say Glimmer Journal, can you tell me more about what that is for you? Like just collages? Good question, good question. So, full disclosure, I've never made a Glimmer journal before. This is my first one. But my plan is to essentially, yeah, I'm probably just going to use like bits and scraps. Like I just have a lot of little bits and scraps that would normally go in the garbage or in the recycling, and I just save them and like make pretty things. So that's kind of like my way of journaling is, yeah, I kind of do collages. You can add photos, stickers. But really the main purpose of like a Glimmer journal, I'm calling mine like my Glimmer Garden journal or something like that. But it could be also, you know, some people call it like a gratitude journal. You know, there really aren't any rules here. But essentially I wanted to sort of have like a container or like a little like celebratory space to hold my glimmers and to kind of like document them and celebrate them and just kind of make pretty little art projects out of them. So essentially that's what this is. But so all you really need is like pen and paper, right? You could doodle, you could just make a list. But the purpose, in my opinion, of a Glimmer journal is essentially just a space to keep a record of your glimmers, so that, you know, if you're feeling like you need a pick-me-up, you could always kind of like flip through your journal or look at your list and just sort of, I don't know, remind yourself that that's an option, right? That you can choose that for the day or for a moment, you know? Oh, nice. Is there a glimmer you're crafting about right now if you want to share? Of course, yeah. So this is a moss agate. So not sure if you can see it well. This is an image that I got from this planner that I used to use. It's called Coloring Book of Shadows, and it's by Amy Cesari. I'll type that in the chat so you can, it's Amy, Cesari, and it's called The Coloring Book of Shadows. And it's essentially, I mean, she makes lots of different coloring books and whatnot, but the one that I used was a Coloring Book of Shadows, and they make a planner. And so this is from an old version of that, and it's a moss egg. I really liked the tarot card or the oracle card on here because it says, how can I enjoy and feel gratitude for what I already have? And I think that that's really powerful. So I was going to put this as my cover page or my title page for my Glimmer journal, because moss agate is really important to me. It's a really beautiful stone. Actually, fun fact, my wedding ring is a moss agate. And so this is a very healing, grounding crystal for me, and I just love it so much. It makes me feel like myself, right? If I were a crystal, I would be a moss agate. So, or I guess it's a stone. Um, and so it makes me feel like myself. It makes my body feel like I'm here, right? I'm here. I deserve to take up space. I have this loving energy, right? And so I wanted to start my Glimmer journal off with this little image. Yeah, but there are no rules. You could totally do whatever. Like, glimmers can be something by yourself, like, for example, a moss agate or a cup of tea. It could also be something that helps you feel connected to other people or animals, pets, you know. No rules, but just kind of reflecting on, like, what makes you feel present and connected and closer to your true self, right? What makes you feel like yourself? And I think that's just really powerful to grow as many of those as we possibly can in our everyday lives. You're inspiring me so much right now. Oh, I love the idea of a crafternoon stream too. I'm so glad. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. I hope you kind of grow your own Glimmer garden in whatever way that, you know, feels supportive and helpful to you. I think I was kind of wondering, and I don't know if this is okay to say or not. I'm not really great with like Twitch etiquette yet. I'm still learning some of the rules, but Honey does amazing streams, and just to be 100% honest, like I mean, maybe I would have eventually, but you know, they're one of the main reasons I started streaming, because Honey, you inspired me so much. And also just like helped me like feel like, hey, it's possible. So yeah, I don't want to get too like mushy here, but I just wanted to express that because that's a Glimmer for me. I love Honey's streams, and so the reason why I brought that up real quick is because you had mentioned something about like a self-care menu stream, and I thought like, oh my goodness, it's kind of like a Glimmer garden. So I would be really excited. Like maybe you could. I'm curious to see if you end up doing that. You know what that might look like for you and everyone else who comes to the stream, you know, like what their self-care menu and stuff would look like. Yeah, oh, I appreciate you so much too. Stephanie says, another Glimmer for me is going to concerts. I just thought of that. That's a good one. Maybe you could even take a picture from the Beyonce concert that you went to and like make a cute frame for it or something and put it in your Glimmer journal or whatever you're gonna make. I've also seen people make like vision boards and stuff, like mood boards. You could also do like a Glimmer mood board and put it on your phone background or something like that. Ooh, I love that. I'm so excited for that community week. I cannot wait. I'm gonna go next week. I should have time. I'm gonna make it a priority. Finding a good song I can listen to on repeat is a Glimmer. Oh my goodness. So yeah, one thing I do want to encourage everyone to do when you notice a Glimmer, like, I'm really glad you're telling me, right? Like the fact or like the cognitive part of it, right? Like finding a good song I can listen to on repeat, going to concerts, seeing my dog after a long day of work, right? I think one thing that can make a Glimmer even more powerful is really like letting yourself experience it, not just like cognitively, right? Like, oh, I like this thing, but really letting yourself feel that Glimmer. You know, noticing sensation, noticing that felt sense of what it's actually like to experience the Glimmer. Not just know about it or know that it makes you feel happy, but like, how does your body know that it feels happy? Or whatever the feeling is, right? I think that can be really powerful. Just expanding your awareness towards that felt sense, towards the sensation, towards how your nervous system experiences the Glimmer. You know, for example, I can easily just say like, oh yeah, like chocolate makes me happy, right? I like chocolate. But something that makes it even more powerful is to pay attention to what the chocolate smells like when you're eating it. Noticing the texture in your mouth, right? When you put it in there, maybe it's a little cold, a little hard. And over time, maybe it melts, gets a little warm, the texture changes, feels different on your tongue. right? And noticing that maybe the taste is different, maybe not, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe the taste changes when when the texture changes, right? Just stuff like that. And I think that makes glimmers so much more powerful because it lets your nervous system know that you're here. It's now, and you get to enjoy this, savor this moment. And I think that's probably one of the most healing practices that I've found in my life. I think that glimmers have made the biggest difference in like improving my mental health. And so I'm not here to like therapize anyone. This is not therapy. But I do want to just share like this with people because it's been so powerful for me. And I thought, let's just share it with more people and see if it helps them too. Oh my gosh. Yeah, honey, I love your digital collages. They're so good. I saw that pink one that you made and I was like, oh, that's so inspiring. You do like different colors and stuff to express how you feel. I love it so much. Yeah, a glimmer collage would be so great. I know. I'm glad you're not my therapist so we can hang out like this. I love that. I love that so much. I think that's a glimmer for me. I just want to feel that. Thank you for saying that. I know we barely know each other, but I feel like I've made friends on here. Like there are some, like, I feel like we're really building some friendships and like true care for one another and just like supporting each other and in our personal goals and stuff. I just love it so much. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah. Oh, also, honey, I don't think you were here yet, but I'm not like trying to like get anyone to buy anything or anything, but I have this really good tea. And I got this from an Etsy shop called Witchwood Tea House. And so if you're ever interested in like, I know you're into some spiritual things, perhaps a little witchy things. So Witchwood Tea House has really good tea for like different things. This is just like sort of an everyday one. But they have like new moon tea and like different teas for different holidays and stuff. So I love them so much. That's what I'm drinking today. Okay, so I'm gonna try to finish cutting out these flowers. I don't know if it's gonna go very well, but we're gonna give it our best effort. Fussy cut this out. Have there been any songs, honey, lately that you've found that are good glimmers for you? I'm gonna be lurking for a bit while I do my morning routine, and then I'll be more chatty. Oh yeah, of course. Whatever supports you. Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Maybe you can find some glimmers in your morning routine. Ooh, I'll have to check that out. I've not heard of it. Grumpy Old Man and Buttermilk by Remy Wolf and her whole album, Juno. I'm gonna have to check those out. Thanks for sharing. I'm so happy. Maybe you could listen to those during your morning routine or something, whatever you want to do, but that sounds like a great glimmer. I'm actually kind of looking forward to doing more of these crafting streams. We could probably do them on Mondays. Mondays are like my rest day. I tend to just kind of like not work on that day. Do like baths, play video games, stuff like that. So I feel like a crafternoon on Mondays would be really good. This is an interesting sound, isn't it? Huh. Wasn't expecting that. I love the idea of a weekly crafternoon stream. I know. I think we're just gonna do it. I think I love the idea too. And Mondays are like the perfect day for it because, I typically don't have much, if anything, scheduled. I used to work on Mondays, but I feel like it's been better for me. I moved a lot of my appointments to like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I feel like it's been so much better. Because it almost feels like an extended Sunday, so I have a little bit more time to like get ready for the week and take care of myself before I have to go take care of everyone else, and it just makes me feel more excited about my work again. Because I have more time to like recharge, and it helps so much. That's what I'm trying to do right now, just working Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, I think it's a really good option if you can do that, right? I know it's a privilege, but I feel like it's one of those privileges that can really help you heal so much. And one thing that's helped me... Oh, hi Ashley, welcome in. Good to see you. I hope you're well today. How are you? But yeah, I feel like something that I've been like telling myself is, maybe in the future I'll be able to work more. Maybe not. But at least for right now, having like a reduced work schedule, it's been really helping me to do better work when I do have to work. So thanks for the boop, Ashley. It's not just about productivity and like doing the best you can at work. It really is about overall well-being. So I'm glad that you're experimenting with that because you deserve it. We all do. Actually, I'm pretty sure the more rest we get, the more productive we are when we actually are doing things. So we can get a lot more done in less time. And it tends to be like better quality work. So that's kind of where I come from when I'm, when people want to reduce their work schedule. I'm like, hey, if it's financially feasible for you, like 100% I support that. Hands down. I think it's better for everyone, to be honest. You love the boop. I know, it's cute. They have some pretty good sound effects. I just added those, the sound things. So yeah, I'm gonna play with them a little bit more, but I'm glad they're working so far. That's fun. Sorry, I know fussy cutting is probably not the most interesting thing to watch, and it's also like harder for me to do it like on the screen, because I noticed I tend to like want to do it closer to my body. So I'm sorry if it's not the most entertaining, but I'm hoping that y'all are crafting along with me or doing something else. So, that'll help. Yeah, thank you, Ray. Thank you for sharing that with Ashley. Just in case she's interested. And feel free to ask me any questions too. Ask me anything. I'll do my best to give you good answers. Oh, Snuggling Oliver. That's a good Glimmer, though. I just realized something, and I can't believe I didn't realize this until now. I think Honey's lurking, but like Honey also has a cat named Oliver. Oliver is very, he's all black though. He's so cute. But yeah, I think Snuggling Oliver counts as practicing a Glimmer 100%. And to be honest, like, not everyone's Glimmer is going to be crafting, so like... Yeah. Oh my god, Oliver! I am really tempted. Okay, I know... Can I use the Oliver emote in my chat? Just this one time. It's okay to say no. It's so cute. Oh wait, maybe I can't. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Oh, I can't figure out how to do it. That's okay. Hold on. It's just super weird, this interface, right now. Oh, here we go. Aww. Yeah, they did a great job with that emote. It's so cute. I use it all the time in the chat at Honey's streams. It's so cute. I think you have to be a sub though to use it, but it's so worth it. Oh, I'm sorry, the camera's shaking a little bit. Oh, Pippin. Aw. He just wants to connect. He just wants to snuggle. I think Kimber's napping, but the birds are very active at the moment. Pippin jump scaring me when he jumps on the table is a glimmer for me. That's a good one, Ray. That is a good one. Yeah. I also think it's so cute when you guys play tag. It's so much fun. Oh, I need to eat some more of my oatmeal. I completely forgot about this. Hopefully you can't hear my chewing. Oh, good. Thanks for letting me know, Ray. How's your workday going? I think something that I'd like to do is find some glimmers like throughout my workday too, because I noticed that that is usually when my nervous system feels the most overwhelmed, and it's not a bad thing. It makes sense, right? Because of the work that I do. Sometimes we're working with some really heavy stuff. But I'd like to find some more glimmers to help me stay regulated. Because when I'm regulated, I obviously am more helpful to the people I'm working with, but also just so that I can enjoy myself more at work. I think glimmers have been really helping me with that as well. I'd like to grow that some more this year. Okay, I like how this is turning out. We're almost done. I just have to do the leaves on the bottom. Now, I did cut it a bit shorter because I didn't really want to cut these like fiddly lines. I might cut these out, just the flowers, and then like draw these and add it later, but I'm not sure. Right now, I think I just like this sort of layout for it. So we're gonna start with this. He just loves jumping on the table. Aw. Cats do. I think generally, don't they enjoy being up in higher spaces? My birds are that way too. They just feel safer when they're like up high. A glimmer while I'm working is when I'm coding and it finally works how I wanted it to. I think that's a really good way to look at glimmers too. Like, sometimes we work really hard on something and it can be a little stressful. But if it's something that like we value and it's really important to us, I feel like it's sort of that feeling of satisfaction, or that feeling of like overcoming something hard can definitely be a glimmer, right? Like, I'm curious what kinds of things make people feel proud of themselves, because that can be so powerful. What do your breaks look like throughout the day? Depends on the day. I'm not sure if you mean like specifically like work days. But yeah, I typically try not to see like more than 2 clients like back to back, because then I start to get really like overstimulated. And it's sort of, it's not like, I don't feel like I do like bad work necessarily. But it definitely doesn't feel like I'm as excited to like be there with people, or when I come home, I'm like so exhausted, like I just kind of crash. So I found that like taking a break every couple of hours, and then at least like a 5-minute break in between sessions, like definitely helps me, because it keeps me feeling connected and excited, and like it doesn't take me as long to like recover after doing so much work. I hope that answers the question. Let me know if you meant something else by it. But yeah, I just try to take a break every couple hours. What bevies do you drink in the workday? Tea is a good one. I definitely drink a lot of water. What else? I like hot cocoa, especially in like December. And if I want something warm and I don't want tea, I'll also make like I'll warm up like an almond milk, usually a vanilla almond milk. I'll put some cinnamon and honey in there, and then stir it all together, and that's really good too. Like a warm, cozy drink. My workday is going well. Got my water in your cozy stream going. I'm glad that's helping. Good. Thanks for the hydrate, Stephanie. Honey says, I feel like I definitely have glimmers while streaming, but I want to be more intentional about noticing and sharing them. I love that for you. That's such a great goal. Because I think it'll help the viewers, right? But also it helps you. Like I'm assuming it might help make your stream more enjoyable for you, and it's good self-care. I love that. I'm inspired by that goal. So yeah, I'm curious about that, like streaming glimmers. Could do a whole spread on that, streaming glimmers. Personally, I really like your layouts that you have. I think they're really fun to look at, especially the co-working ones. That's a glimmer for me, definitely. Just like, it's a very soothing environment. But I'm also very visually oriented. Like, I feel like I respond a lot. Like, I orient a lot is what we would say in therapy. We orient. Some people might use the word grounding, where you're sort of like using your senses. I know you're familiar with grounding, honey, but I'm not sure who else here might not be. So I'll just kind of do a little. So it's like orienting is another sort of term that we use, similar to grounding. Where grounding refers to sort of like using your sensory experiences to ground and center and like become more present to the current moment. So you'll hear people say things like, name 5 things you can see, name 4 things you can hear, like things like that. Orienting is very similar, but we just play with it a little bit more. So one thing that we do with orienting is it's a little bit less like, it's more invitational and less like directional, I guess. We're not really instructing someone like, oh, name 5 things you can see. We're more interested in like trying to follow what that person's nervous system wants to pay attention to. So someone may not want to look at something right now. They may feel more supported by listening or closing their eyes and feeling something or smelling something. So orienting is very similar, but it's more about that curiosity of like what actually supports your nervous system right now. You know, for example, this mug. I love looking at this mug. It's very pleasant to look at. And I know that because I have a little bit of a sparkly feeling in my chest. And I feel like my awareness is sort of dropping down into my body. I can feel my face more than I could before I picked up this mug. What else? My breath is deepening, my shoulders are dropping. And I feel a little bit warm and fuzzy inside my skin, you know? So I'm not saying that like people should experience those. It's different for everyone. But the reason I wanted to share that little moment is because, you know, just for me, I'm very visually oriented. So like looking at something feels really good if it's something that I like. But instead of just saying, oh yeah, I like the way this mug looks, really checking in and like checking in to see how my body experiences it. And then really, you know, do I like it at this distance? Does it feel better maybe further out? I think it feels good right here, right? And yeah, my body just took an organic, natural breath because this distance feels really good to my nervous system. This feels safe. This feels supportive. Right up here, a little makes me feel a little more anxious. You know, right here feels good. So just kind of letting myself feel that and really validating and giving space to what my body likes, you know? And so that's kind of how I like to practice glimmers and how I like to teach people how to orient. And it's definitely a bit trickier than it seems, especially if there is like a history of trauma and stuff like that. Like, it can be quite hard to build the skills. So like definitely like seeing a therapist that can help you is really important because the practice is simple in theory, but when you actually go to do it, you never quite know what'll happen. So it can be helpful to just have someone to sort of help you hold that space and navigate it if something like difficult does come up, because it can happen. Not all nervous systems are able to feel safe, and that's just the reality of it. Like something can be safe, but it still might not feel safe. So yeah, that's why it's important to work with a therapist if you're really struggling to like connect with yourself and stuff. It can absolutely be something that you need to build up over time. So just be really kind to yourself and, you know, give yourself some time. Okay, so I'm sorry, like I really am passionate about this, so I keep going on these little tangents, but I think it's because it's helped me so much. I just want to share, and I never know if someone's out there listening that might need to hear something, so yeah. I love that. I like it when people use my quiet hello, redeem, and alert command because I feel like it's a nice little hello. Oh, it is! It's like almost like a very soft, like, hey, I'm here. Love it. Noticing my body in physical space is really grounding for me. Yes. Oh my gosh. And also a glimmer. Yes. Like if I'm showering, noticing the feeling of shampoo in my hands and the water on my hair. I love it. I love the smell of shampoo too. Like if you get a really good smelling shampoo. Thanks for the applause, Ray. I think that helps me because I'm very in my head and it brings me into the present. Same, that's relatable. Fun fact, actually, my, you know, a lot of my stress has manifested in a very, like, cognitive way of coping. And, that's one thing Glimmers have really helped me expand my awareness to other areas, right? Because we see that a lot. And again, I'm not assuming anything about honey, about your comment or about you. This is a general thing, and just kind of based on my own experience. But I think it's common that people often feel safer, like in their head, right? At least that was my experience. And I've met a few other people that have had a similar experience where it can feel much safer to think about things and to plan things or whatever, you know. But there are actually so many different ways that our felt sense sort of manifests, or different ways we experience things. And so there's an acronym. It's called CYBAM, and essentially it stands for let me type it in chat. So the S is for sensation. So we've got sensations, which are things our body feels, right? Hot, cold, smooth, textured, right? Different things we feel. And those could be external, right? Like something on our skin. I can feel the sensation of my fingers right now, right? I can feel this. And I can also feel my hand receiving that touch, right? That's sensation on my skin. You could also feel sensations inside your body as well, like hunger. You know, maybe when you're tired, there's a heaviness, you know? So sensation can be external, internal, whatever, but sensation. And then the I in CYBAM stands for image. And so those are things, you know, you'll often kind of have people explain a feeling like happiness. It feels like sunshine, right? They may feel an opening in their body, so that's the sensation. Then they might feel sort of like and this music actually matches what we're talking about right now. Maybe it influenced me subconsciously, right? Influenced me. Now I'm talking about happiness. But maybe when they think of happiness, they think of a sunshine or like a flower blooming, right? So that could be an image. An image is just something that's sort of another way to express how you're feeling or what you're experiencing. So the B in CYBAM stands for behavior. Body language, movements, actions, right? What are we doing? I talk with my hands a lot, right? That could be behavior. You know, someone tightening up because they're anxious, or, you know, that could be behavior. I'm just taking a minute to recover from that because that tightening actually did increase my anxiety a bit. So I'm just kind of regrounding, reorienting here. Yeah. Thank you for giving me that moment there. I just, stuff's easy to talk about, but yeah, in practice, sometimes I get ahead of myself. Yeah, so behavior, things that you can observe. Actions, what are people doing, right? The A in CYBAM stands for affect, which is just pretty much another term for emotion. So yeah, those are our feelings, affect. And then we have the M, which is meaning making. And meaning making is a really powerful one, right? That's kind of, that's what triggered me to kind of start talking about this. Maybe I shouldn't say triggered. That's what prompted me to start talking about this. Because for me, my meaning making channel is so strong. If I feel anxious or scared or uncomfortable, or even sometimes when I feel happy, I really get in my head and I try to explain it. I try to understand it. I want to know where it came from. I want to know how to get more or less of it, right? And those are really good like strategies, right? And I know a lot of like cognitive behavioral therapies use them. And, you know, I do a lot of acceptance commitment therapy with my clients personally. It's a little bit better than traditional CBT in my opinion, just because it's more flexible. So it's not a bad thing. There is definitely a time and a place for using your critical thinking and your executive functioning, and for trying to figure things out, reframe your thoughts, right? There's absolutely time and a space for that. It's not bad. But sometimes we just want to expand our options, right? So that's where glimmers have helped me, right? Because I can also pay attention to sensation, express myself through images and photos, decorating my environment to reflect how I feel or how I want to feel, right? And so, yeah, I think that's the big thing about Glimmers. It's not about, like, it's not about condemning the spaces that have been safe for you, right? It's just about seeing if there's room to expand safe spaces now. And that's going to really depend on like your life and your environment and the people around you. And, you know, if you have to stick with like a meaning making channel or, you know, something like that often happens because it wasn't safe to express yourself in these other ways. And it may or may not, you know, be an option for you now. So I think it's really important to just be honest with like, okay, letting yourself explore them at your own pace when you're ready. And although a lot of these things are definitely individual things that you can just do for yourself, like by yourself, it does help to have a supportive environment and supportive people. And I think I'm just going to leave it at that, because that's heavy. But the reality is that not everyone has that. So sometimes the best thing we can do is to find those spaces, no matter how small they are, you know? And that's why Glimmers are so important, you know? Oh, thank you. I am very passionate about this. It's honestly like it's helped me so much. Personally, I mean, I've done a lot of things to try to heal. And honestly, somatic experiencing and like Glimmers and stuff, I've noticed the most progress with this type of thing than I have with many other things I've tried. I mean, I do think it's like a cumulative effect. Like, I don't think that Glimmers and somatic experiencing are like the only thing, but it's definitely been an invaluable resource for me. So I just want to share, you know, if it helps someone else, like that's a glimmer, you know? Yeah. I have OCD and my reframing my thoughts is not really less anxiety inducing. Oh my God. Oh, right? Don't get me started. Oh my God. Yeah, that's not always the best option for that. I get it. I have OCD as well. Well, okay. I have been diagnosed with OCD. It has been getting a lot better since I've been doing like some trauma treatment though. So I don't know. It's complicated. OCD is a complicated one, but mine's seems to be definitely like worsened by trauma, which is the case for a lot of people. So yeah, sometimes the OCD is almost, you know, that reframing and trying to apply cognitive skills to OCD in my experience has been almost like a trauma vortex in and of itself, because the OCD brain is not quite equipped to do that, right? Like we're not thinking clearly when we're in an OCD loop. And it's hard to get out of that. So sometimes the best thing to do is to like not try to fix it through thinking. So it's good to like try other, you know, I don't want to say anything like, I don't want to say that as like a general statement for everyone, but in my experience, that's sort of what happened to me. Because there's always that part of my mind that like doesn't register that a task is complete or doesn't care about probability, because it's like the 0.0000002% chance that the thing will happen. It feels very important, right? So sometimes it just helps to like refocus on other SciBAM elements, you know? Thank you. Also, I love that you took the moment for yourself. I do that on stream too. It's why I do little meditations sometimes. It's so helpful, honestly. Like streaming, don't get me wrong, it's really fun, but it's a lot, right? There's chat, there's sound, you're trying to do the tech stuff. You know, it can be a lot of stimulation, even if it's positive. Like positive stimulation is still stimulation. I think people forget that too. Sometimes like when someone gets overstimulated or something, like it's not always because they're like stressed in like a negative way. Sometimes it's like positive and they're just so excited, but their body is like, it needs to kind of re-regulate, you know? Yeah, cumulative. Yeah, I agree with that. OCD is not something you can just think yourself out of. And trauma is not either. I think that's a common misconception. Trauma really is not a mental illness in the same way that we thought it was. It's more of a nervous system disorder, right? So like, you can't think yourself out of that. You need to heal the nervous system, right? And I think that's really powerful for people to have that education, because it allows you to be more gentle and kind with yourself, right? Like you're not choosing this. In some ways, the nervous system makes these decisions for you kind of subconsciously. And I don't want to say that in a way that like feels disempowering. I think it's kind of a both and, right? But the reality of the situation is, like the nervous system with PTSD, it's vulnerable, right? It's been compromised. It's had to deal with certain types of stress without enough support, whatever that looks like. And so that energy, so essentially the best way I can describe this without like taking forever is that the nervous system is meant to sort of increase in energy and decrease in energy very naturally, very easy throughout the day, throughout our lives, right? It kind of just breathes and it flows, you know? With trauma though, it doesn't matter what happened to somebody. It really does not matter at all what happened to somebody. It is all about how the nervous system perceived that situation and how the situation gets stored in the body. So the same thing could happen to like two different people, and one person may develop PTSD and one might not. And that's because with trauma, what happens is like a stressful situation happens. And once we're out of that situation, or once the situation's over, whatever it is, our body needs to like know that. So a lot of times when trauma develops, when like PTSD develops, it's not because of what happened to somebody. It's because of the lack of support. Somebody's nervous system didn't get what they needed to deal with whatever stressor was going on. Okay, and I want to hit that home. I really want whoever might need to hear that to hear that. It's not about what happened. It's about feeling supported. Feeling like you have the resources to navigate a difficult situation. If you don't have that, it's more likely that you're going to develop PTSD. Right? So the reason I'm bringing all this up, to be honest, I forgot where I was going with that. There was a reason. Oh, it's not your fault, right? Your nervous system develops a pattern based on what happened. And until that pattern gets slowed down and reorganized, it's gonna keep feeling like stress. It's gonna keep feeling like trauma. And that has nothing to do with your thoughts. You can't think yourself out of that. You have to look at your nervous system and help it to reorganize so that it knows how to feel safe. Essentially, that's what glimmers do, right? We're looking at these little pockets of space and time when our nervous system can feel supported. I hope that made sense. Yeah, I just, that's my understanding of it. And it's helped me a lot, not be so hard on myself. You know, like I would get a lot of messages like, you're so sensitive, just get over it, blah, 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 blah. It's like, that's not helpful. Please don't say that to people that are healing from trauma. Do not. Instead, help them focus on things that they truly feel a sense of connection with. Yeah. need to feel safe. And that has everything to do with their own experience. You may or may not be able to make someone feel safe, but you do what you can to help support them to figure out how they can provide that safety to themselves, you know? Okay. Let me catch up with chat here. Okay. Oh, a trauma vortex is such a good way to describe it. Oh, yeah. So that's actually a term. That's not something that I made up. That's a term from Somatic Experiencing International, which is a training program developed based on, like, I think Peter Levine's work with somatic experiencing. So yeah, a trauma vortex. They call it a trauma vortex, and then so those are going to be things when your nervous system starts going towards that trauma again, right? Flashbacks and whatnot. And then there's also a counter vortex, which is I want to refocus towards that. It's counter vortexes are glimmers. Right? It includes things like glimmers, moments of safety, things that are healing, and those are counter vortex things that can help you give your nervous system a little bit more space. Oh, thank you for subbing, honey. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that so much. So yeah, it's the counter vortex is where we want to spend some more time, especially in the beginning. If someone is like just now learning how to sort of heal from trauma, we want to spend a lot of time in that counter vortex to build up that nervous system resilience, and sort of let the nervous system see that there's more to your experience than the trauma. Because that's kind of what happens where people kind of get negative, or they fall into that negativity bias. It's not because they're negative Nancy. It's not because they're not trying. It's not because they don't want to heal. It's because their nervous system is so focused. Their attention and their resources are going towards trying to, like, heal that trauma, essentially. Trying to manage it, right? All this activation that's never been discharged appropriately, right? So essentially what's happening is the nervous system, something happens, and we have these things called self-protective impulses that will come up. So, you know, some common examples: fight, flight, freeze, right? Like whatever our body thinks it needs to do to survive that moment. If that gets triggered, and then it doesn't get discharged properly, right? That stress response cycle doesn't fully complete. The trauma can it just kind of stays stuck until it gets slowed down, reorganized, and discharged. So I know a lot of this sounds heavy, but that's the good news about trauma. Like it's reversible. Like you can heal that. It's not something you have to live with for the rest of your life. Of course, the experience is never going to just like go away. Like what happens in your life happens. But you can absolutely heal your nervous system and feel more like yourself again. Like that is 100% possible. But this is how we do it, right? We have to spend time in that counter vortex and help the nervous system process that experience or experiences. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Okay, oh my God, I relate to that so much. My brain doesn't register tasks as complete. I'm always at the end of a loop that feels like it needs to repeat. And that's why physical grounding is so helpful. Oh, 100%, absolutely. Yeah. Yep, and that's partially the way that the physiology, that happens because of the way the brain gets wired too. So it's not your fault. It's totally understandable. I love that the physical grounding helps. That makes so much sense why adverse childhood experiences are risk factors. Yeah. I feel like it made sense, but when you said about the nervous system needing support or resources really contextualizes that. Oh, I'm so glad that makes more sense. Yeah, because, and one thing that might help too, that I'd like to share. So for anyone who's not familiar with adverse childhood experiences, there has been a study called ACEs, ACE, and it stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. And essentially, these studies sort of helped us to understand the relationship between these adverse childhood experiences. So examples might be divorce, a parent being in jail, I don't want to talk too much about that because I really want to stay on the Glimmer side, but difficult things that kids often can go through. And how that correlates with like medical issues as they grow older. So like diabetes, heart disease, substance use, obesity, stuff like that. So what they essentially found is that these adverse childhood experiences would often lead to health issues, smoking and stuff like that as well, which is often what people use to manage anxiety and such. So but what I want to say is that there's another sort of resource called resiliency score. So you have your ACEs score, and then you also have what's called a resiliency score. And if I can find those, like I'm sure I have them on my computer somewhere, like the tests, I'll try to get them uploaded somewhere that's available, maybe Discord or something. But you can also look at a child's resiliency score. And that matters, right? That's a counter vortex, in my opinion. Those are protective factors. Those are glimmers for these children, right? So some examples of a resiliency score or a resiliency factor might be a coach that sees the child, that attunes with the child, that cares for the child, aunts, uncles, teachers, just youth groups, whatever, right? But resiliency scores can really help with that as well. And I think that's really important to know, because sometimes just looking at ACEs can feel really hopeless and stuck. So the resiliency scores can really help sort of like balance that out a little bit. Yeah, because it does matter. Just from when I was a teacher, there was a lot of talk about ACEs. I'm glad that they're at least aware, right? Because I mean, I had a really rough childhood, just to be honest. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I definitely had some teachers that it helped, it mattered, and I think that do not underestimate the power of that, because you can't always get someone out of a bad situation, but you can help support their glimmers and support their counter vortex, and it does matter. It matters to their nervous system. It matters a lot. So what is an example of a counter vortex, if you don't mind explaining? Okay. So yeah, counter vortex would be a glimmer, for example. I don't know if I already explained it. I'm so sorry. I'm like way behind in chat. I'm just sitting here lecturing. Yeah. Did that make sense though? A counter vortex is essentially a glimmer or a moment of safety, something that helps support your nervous system to see beyond the trauma, to feel beyond the trauma. Yeah, that's what a counter vortex is. And then that's where I do want to say, like, definitely if somebody needs more support, like, please reach out to a therapist though, because it might sound like all sunshine and rainbows, but it's sometimes can be more difficult than it seems. So if you find that you're struggling, please reach out to someone and let them know. Because of the way our mind works, things can be coupled too, and like if you need some support, feeling safe, like please work with someone that can help, because you don't have to do this alone, and it may sound simple, but the nervous system might need some support professionally, and that's 100% okay. So yeah, just know that that's an option. If needed. Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. I've been taking notes. I have therapy after this, and I'm going to be like, we need to get our counter vortex on. I love that. I am so excited when my clients are like, oh, let's do counter vortex work. I'm like, yes, right? Because that's a good boundary. I feel like a lot of times people come into therapy and they're like, hey, let's talk about my problems, right? Let's talk about all the shit. And I'm like, yeah, like that's what therapy's for. But like, we also talk about healing. And to be honest, especially when someone's struggling, like, I don't want them to talk about their problems. Like, I want to talk about your strengths. I want to talk about what feels empowering, right? I think that can help support someone way more than like trying to process through something when they don't have the physical resources to do it, right? Like, don't talk about it if you don't want to, right? If your counter vortex is more supportive today, like, let's do it. It's a good sign that they're listening to themselves, right? Because otherwise they're like, well, I guess I just got to talk through all this stuff. And I don't know, sometimes that can be more activating and like less healing. So yeah, it's a good boundary. I feel like that's something I've subconsciously known, is that I can't only talk about the intense stuff. Yeah. Like, sometimes I've gone to therapy being like, can we just play today? And I feel like this makes sense to me now. Yeah. Unfortunately, not all therapists know about somatic experiencing and things like that. I don't think they're bad therapists or anything. I do think there's a lot of really great therapists that just don't have the information. Even myself, like, I didn't always know this was a thing. This is not really something that we learn in grad school. From what I've learned from like some of my younger colleagues, they're starting to talk more about it in grad school. But when I was in grad school, it was a lot of, more like cognitive behavioral therapies, exposure response preventions, narrative therapies and stuff. They're not bad, but they weren't addressing the nervous system in a way that we needed to address it, especially for like trauma. So it's just something to keep in mind. Like, if your therapist, isn't aware of it, just kind of let them know, hey, like, I think if we dabbled a little bit in this, it might support me better. And I think most people are willing to like slow it down, even if they don't do somatic experiencing. Like, I don't want to breach anyone's confidentiality here, but one of my loved ones is doing EMDR, which is another really good trauma treatment. And they were feeling more stressed because like certain things were happening in their life. And so what they did is they slowed down with their EMDR therapist, and instead of actively doing EMDR, they were resourcing and they were grounding and they were kind of focusing in on what's going well. And that helps them to like regain their strength and then feel more ready to do the EMDR. So, I feel like that's a valid treatment option. Some people might feel a little stressed because they're like, oh, I have to slow down. It's going to take more sessions. It's going to take more money. And that's understandable, 100%. But I wholeheartedly believe that, like, for people that do take the time to slow down and not rush through, they heal better, they heal faster, and they don't have to come back as much in the future. So I feel like it feels a little counterintuitive, but in my experience, slowing down actually speeds it up. Like, slower is better, less is more when it comes to this kind of stuff, in my opinion. It should be easier, Yeah. Thank you all for like being here and having these conversations and listening to me rant. I really care about this. It helps me so much, and I've seen it work wonders already. And I haven't even really been practicing that long, like professionally, but it's changed everything. But yeah, unfortunately, a lot of this trauma training I've had to seek out in addition to like what's required. So not all of us have it, but we're getting there. We are getting there. The industry is starting to recognize the need for it. What is in your bowl? Oh, I forgot again. It's oatmeal. That's been sitting here since noon. I might actually make myself something different or warm this back up. But yeah, it's oatmeal with like, it's just got like bananas, cinnamon, and like some vanilla almond butter. Yeah, cold oatmeal. Yeah, cold oatmeal. It's not bad though, cold. Honestly, it tastes like banana bread. I love it. It's better warm, but it's not bad. Cold, like it tastes just like yeah, it tastes like banana bread. It's good. Yeah, it's just pretty good. And it keeps you full for a very long time. At least for me, it like keeps me full for like at least a few hours. What are you guys eating today? Does anybody want to share what you're having for food? I know Stephanie mentioned she's got pizza for lunch, pizza rolls. Anybody else have anything good today? Ooh, a quesadilla. Ooh, what's in it? Cheese? Anything else? Ray had pizza too. We have a lot of pizza today, huh? Pizza's always a good food though. All right, I think I'm about done with this. I haven't got a ton of crafting done. We still have about 40 minutes though before I have to get ready for work. But I've had such a good time. Honestly, like I don't even regret taking the time out to talk about this because I feel like it's important. And I just appreciate y'all being here to support yourselves, hopefully. And also just like supporting me and my Glimmer, because this is a Glimmer for me. Being with you and journaling. Okay. Oh, I love baby carrots and hummus too. That sounds so good. That's one of my favorite snacks. Oh, so good. Gonna get bear claw in a little bit. Oh, yum. I'm gonna get bear claw on Saturday when we come to your house, for sure. Bear claw is delicious. Stephanie, do they still have the Girl Scout cookie coffees right now? Do you know? I think I'm going to go with something simple like this, and then I'm going to put some stars. And I do want to color, at least color the moss agate. I don't know about the card. Let's see. All right, y'all, give me a second. I'm gonna go get my my little stars that I want to put on my page. I'll be right back. They do. I've been getting Chris tag along for a couple of weeks now. Oh, it's so good. Okay. I got the Samoa one and it was so good. I want another one. Okay, I'll be right back. Ray, you bombed me. What was the bomb for? Just for fun? I'm gonna put these over here for now. Okay. For funsies. Thank you for the bonk. I highly recommend if you're interested in glitter, definitely playing with glitter because it's so much fun. You know what I might do? I don't know if anyone would be interested in this, but I could do like a craft box giveaway and just fill it with some of my favorite supplies and sort of do like little giveaways. Every now and again, that could be really fun. Or even I could make little like scrap bin giveaways too, like little for anyone who might be interested in, like we could do like a scrap swap. It'd be really fun. I'm probably not going to color this butterfly though because I coffee dyed it already and I like how it looks with just the coffee coloring. This is a glimmer for me. Seeing this little butterfly cut out? It's cute. And here's the actual butterfly we're using. Yeah, I love the butterflies too. It's a nice sign of like transformation, sort of like a metamorphosis of sorts, you know? I'm liking my page so far. So we've got about 20 minutes left. And I'm fine if we want to just like keep journaling, but if anybody wants me to do like a tarot pull, I'm more than happy to do that. We can either do one as like a collective, sort of like a general reading, or if anybody wants like a specific question answered or something, we could also try that. And if you're interested in the deck here, this is a pip deck, so it's a little different than some of the other tarot decks. But this is one of my favorites. I love it so much. And it's the Harmony Tarot by Harmony Nice. So if anybody wants a reading, let me know. I'm happy to do that. No pressure either way, but that is something that I did bring out because it's the spring equinox. Why not? I feel like tarot readings or oracle readings, you know, or both. I feel like they're just such good tools to like slow down and do some reflecting, you know, as the seasons change. So yeah, if anyone's interested, pop it in the chat and we'll get to that. Where did you get that journal? That's a good question. I usually get them from like art fairs and stuff, but this one could have been on Amazon. Let me see if I can find it on Amazon. If I can, I will send it to you. But it might have, unfortunately, it might have been from an art fair, in which we might have to wait until summer to go find the artist again. I'm sorry, I don't have a better answer. I can't quite remember. But it's most likely one of those two, either an art fair or Amazon. So I'll see if I can find it. Or Ray, do you know? I usually get mine from Barnes & Noble or Target, but I haven't gotten one in a while. Yeah, Barnes & Noble has some pretty good ones too. Personally, I like, if you like, is it the paper that you like? Or the outside? Like, are you looking for like this kind of like rough, like natural paper, or like the decal edge paper or something? Because if so, there's something called a Lokta paper journal. I'll put it in chat. It's like spelled like this, Lokta paper, and it's from it's like a sustainable way to make paper, and they usually comes from Nepal. But if you're interested, like I know Barnes & Noble and Amazon has like Lokta paper journals. Those are really nice. But yeah, the cover. I like the cover. I have never had a journal with the rougher paper. Yeah, it's definitely something. I could bring you some paper on Saturday to like try out and play with and see if you like it. And if you do, you might want to get like a Lokta paper journal or something. There's also a really good, hold on a second. Let me go grab, hold on. Okay, so I also, if you like the outside, like the cover, you can also get, so this one is from an Etsy store called Daniel's Art Planet. They're expensive. I will say that. They're expensive, but they're really good. And there's so many pages, it lasts forever. But the covers are like these. So you can get one there. And this one does have like the decal edge paper. But I'm pretty sure he also has journals that are regular paper if you end up not liking the rougher paper. But I love Daniel's Art Planet. I've ordered several journals from there. So this one, I also have our wedding album, like our photo album is one of, it's made from one of his journals that he's made, the handmade journals he's made. So I would recommend them too. I usually get my journals from there, and these last forever. Like, you can fit so much in here. They're all pretty thick. They are leather though, I'm pretty sure. So if you're vegan, just, you know, might not be the best option for you, but otherwise, like, I'm really happy with these journals. I don't know if he makes like a vegan leather or a fake, you know, like a faux leather or anything, but they're good quality, and I do really enjoy using these ones. I would guess art fair or maybe one of the tea rooms. Yeah, it could be from one of those, yeah, like Boston Tea Room or Crazy Wisdom or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's just, could be from Crazy Wisdom. I do have some random pieces of handmade paper from a photo shoot I did a few years ago. It's so beautiful. I've never used it. Oh, isn't that the truth? It's so pretty. I can't use it. I know. Oh my goodness. Maybe that could be something to just try. Just one of them and see how you like it, you know? Yeah. I like it because just the texture is nice, and I don't have to do a whole background if I don't want. I can just place little things in here. So these are more for like quick, kind of fun little journaling things. It's not good for like painting or watercolor, or, you know, I'm sure it can hold a little bit of like acrylic paint or something, no problem. But I usually use these types of journals for like collaging and just little trinkets that I can glue in, you know. But I like it. I think it's really simple. It's kind of feels magical, you know, a little earthy. I also I use a lot of like traveler's notebooks, and those are a really good option if you definitely don't want the rougher paper too, because it's the outside you can get like a nice leather, and they also make like vegan leather like out, you know, covers, and then you can just buy the inserts, which are much less expensive. Just like keep once your insert gets full, you can buy another insert. Hold on, I'm pretty sure I have one of those too. Okay, so unfortunately, I actually can't find my traveler's notebooks right now. I think they're in with my camping. Like I made like a like an art box or like an art bag for my like stuff I wanted to take camping with me, and I don't think I ever unpacked it. So unfortunately, I don't have the traveler's notebook. But if you look in, you've probably already seen them. They come with like a leatherish cover, and then you can put like these inserts in it. So they come in like all different sizes. This is like a smaller one, and then this is kind of like a standard size. But you can get like plain paper, you can get lined paper, graph paper, and you can even like, I decorate mine with like little closures and stuff. So you can get these, and you just like pop them in the middle of the journal, and there's like an elastic band that kind of holds it in, that you just kind of slip it in. So traveler's notebooks are really good and really inexpensive if you want to like keep filling up the inserts and then just get new inserts. You don't need to replace the cover if you don't want to. And then I brought some of the Loca paper journals. This is what they look like. You've seen this one, Stephanie. I brought this to your house. This one has nicer paper. It's like a little bit thinner. But yeah, it's just like a fun texture. I just really enjoy the texture. But you can absolutely, if you don't want the texture, like just do something like this. You know, try like a plain traveler's notebook insert and see if you like that, you know. Yeah, you've seen that one, yeah. I get them on Etsy too. Like you can get some pretty unique ones on Etsy because a lot of the sellers will make their own, or they'll get them from like traveling and then bring them home and sell them. So they're pretty unique. Yeah, I've done that so many times where I like don't want to use my art supplies because they're so pretty. Then eventually I just kind of, I got to remind myself, like, I bought them to use them. But it can be really hard because it's like, you don't want to like, there's something special about like a brand new journal or like a empty piece of paper, right? Like a blank piece of paper. It's just special, right? There's so much potential. And then once you start working on it, it just, you know, it's got your magic in it now, but it's not, it doesn't have that same like fresh start feeling. At least that's how I feel. I'm like, oh, I really like starting a new thing. You know, I like starting in a new journal. I like starting, it's just a certain feeling that, you know, once you've started, you can't quite recreate it the same way, you know? That's another glimmer. Opening up a new journal. Smelling the pages. Feeling the paper. It's a good glimmer. All right, what else do we want to do? I'm really happy with how this spread turned out. I'm going to color the moss agate before I glue this in, but I'm thinking this is the direction we're gonna go. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna like tuck this in here for now until I have a desire to color it. Oh, thank you for the applause. Oh, I'm glad you like the page. It's very simple, but honestly, sometimes that's the best. I feel like a lot of times I just make something simple because, I don't know, it feels comfy cozy. Whereas sometimes if I put a lot of stuff on my pages, it kind of feels a little overwhelming. So I try to keep it simple when I need to. I have other journals where I do more color and like more stuff and more layers, and that's fun too. But I think for my Glimmer journal, I am going to keep it pretty simple so that I can really highlight the goodness inside. You know, I want to really highlight the purpose of the journal more so than make it like lots of layers and really busy, you know? Oh, and I forgot we have these like vellum flowers too. I want to use. Oh, I have so much to do. So many things that I want to look into. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, and then if you want to, I think I'm gonna do a tarot reading before we wrap up for the day. I think I want to put this on that page. That's cute. Sounds like we need more Crafternoon streams in the future. Oh, I agree 100%. Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing more of these. I'm going to try on Monday. See how it feels Monday next week. And we will go from there. But yeah, I think that'll be really fun. I had a good time today. And I really appreciate everyone who came to the stream. Whether you're chatting or lurking or crafting or not, like, I just appreciate you being here, and I hope that you got some benefit. Okay, so I added that little, I like the texture of it. This is, if you've ever seen like those like spiral journals, I ripped the pages out and I kept the edge. Like you could tell this is where the spirals like go in. And I just liked how it looked. So I do use those too, like just little old bits and bobs from previous journals and whatnot. All right, wrap up stream, lovely. Time to transition into the office for work. Thank you, phone. Okay. Can't believe it's already 3 o'clock. All right. Do we want to do a raid? Let's see. Thank you. I'm so glad you had a good time, Ray. It's really good to see you too, like during the workday. I'm excited for you to get home, but it's nice to be able to connect a little bit on your in between times when you're working. All right, let's see here. Oh, I'm not sure why, but I don't think my budgie emotes are showing up today. It's kind of weird. Ray, would you mind making a raid message? Since I just, my blah, 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 blah. Sorry. My budgie emotes are not showing up right now. Maybe like the waving budgie and then like cozy gamer raid or something. Maybe the heart budgie or something, whatever you like. If you have a moment. Thank you. Okay, let's find someone to raid. Just give me a moment here. Oh, wait, ladies on playing Stardew. So is B. There's too many people to raid. Oh my goodness. think we'll raid Wade Lady. Wade is so sweet. And she's also very open about she doesn't talk about like her PTSD journey or anything, but she's very open about like that is a journey that she's on. So I feel like given our goal of Glimmers today, I think I would like to show her some love. All right. And I think you guys will just find her absolutely lovely. Oh my goodness, she's such a sweetheart. All right, here we go. Thank you all so much for being here. I can't even describe in words how thankful I am to be able to spend this time with you and to share some things that I am very passionate about with you. I will be back for a stream on Sunday, a cozy gaming stream. I may or may not do some pop-up streams this week. It just kind of depends on like how work is and how my energy levels are and stuff. But if I don't see you before Sunday, I will see you on Sunday. Thank you. Much love.